them needing a bailout and the Zionists needing safe haven at some point. But they're always been connected. The Zionists and Argentina and us have been a triangle since after the Holocaust.
Now, we have been having a farming crisis in this country for quite some time.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is something that I think for many people, again, Jen and I do not eat beef. However, most of the country does. And that's their prerogative. And the fact of the matter is the food that you get, and this is why I support the concept of the Maha movement, not necessarily the people running it, but the whole idea that we have poisoned food in this country has many different layers to it. And then it comes down to what is happening to the farmers in this country. They are being decimated left and right every single day. And not the least of which is we could easily be doing the farming here in the States. And yet for some reason, if you guys look at the packaging of a lot of different food, and meat just happens to be one of them. But if you look at the fruits, the vegetables, you will notice that most of our agriculture comes from outside the United States. And if you ask me, Jen, I would think that that's pretty quizzical because we could actually be doing that here in this country. And for some reason, we're not. And somebody decided to question the president on Air Force One and leave it to friend of the show, Wally Rashid, to cover this very vital topic as to why are we causing such grief on the part of our farmers.
Ranchers are incredibly upset with Donald Trump today after he stated the United States will now be purchasing beef from Argentina.
You have to say to U.S. farmers who feel that the deal is benefiting Argentina more than it is them, as they are
Argentina's fighting for its life, young lady. You don't know anything about it. They're fighting for their life. Nothing's benefiting Argentina.
They're fighting for their life.
They're totally
you don't know what
fighting for their life.
What a condescending piece of shit. Go fuck off, man. Seriously.
Yeah, no, I totally no, but listen, I'm the smartest guy alive, so you have to respect me. Respect me, woman. You know I know everything. Fighting for their life.
Fighting for their life. You understand what that means?
None of this is about beef. It's because Argentina's president, Javier Milei, loves Israel as much as Trump does. So Argentina needs to be supported even though Milei's stupid economic policies, which MAGA people were told to love, are predictably killing Argentina, but Argentina is Israel's ally. Javier Milei is staunchly pro-Israel. He actually plans to convert to Judaism after leaving office.
What the fuck? What is this?
I'll put money on the fact that at some point there will be pederast charges against him.
Oh, you said he looks like a vampire. He looks like
it isn't even just that, but it's like you wanna like have it, I hope it works out for him to be able to escape to Pederland, Israel, Like that's what he looks like. I want to convert and go, yeah, of course you probably do. Once your people are done with you, you'd rather probably you'd be happier somewhere else.
Did you see Milei's reaction when he went to the Wailing Wall? His in particular really stood out to me.
I don't know.
He gets to the wall and he starts bawling into the wall.
Oh my God.
Like that can only be an act. Like there's no other explanation.
Yeah.
You see somebody like him, and I agree, he is a total puppet president. And what the hell does he have in his closet? What is he hiding?
Well, maybe he was on Epstein's island. At this point, that's how I feel about, whenever I have a question, I'm like, they were probably on the island.
It doesn't seem so America first. Merriweather Farms actually tweeted, "Dear Donald Trump, we love you and support you, but your suggestion to buy beef from Argentina to stabilize beef prices would be an absolute betrayal to the American cattle rancher." Reporters asked what he'd say to U.S. ranchers, and he responded by saying Argentina is fighting for its life. Meanwhile, 77 American cattle producers a day are going out of business.
That's a fact. Jimmy Zimzam, yes, we are going to reach out to the gentleman that Kim Iverson had on. But guys, she spoke to, Jimmy was asking if we could have a farmer on. We are going. That is my plan, to have a farmer on. And we've talked about regenerative ag here multiple times. It's just been a long time. It's been a while.
I always recommend, anybody who's new here or anybody who's becoming more familiar with our channel to always go back and check out the archives. We have a lot of interesting topics, but, the environment is something that we very much care about. And despite what people think about whether climate change is real or any of that stuff, here's what cannot be even questioned at this point. Our water is contaminated, our air is dirty, and our soil is poisoned. And they put cancer-causing pesticides on all of our non-organic food. And even then, I'm not really convinced if it says organic that it's real.
You shouldn't, because we actually did a specific episode with someone that I became friendly with after my first campaign, Scott Lively, who was in the grass-fed beef business, as in owns cattle and does that. And really, and he wrote a book, and we were talking about it. And this is something we have spoken about before, about that we do not produce the majority of beef that people eat in this country. It isn't that we couldn't, but we don't. What we produce is the corn and the soy that gets turned into the feed that we then export to those countries to raise the cattle cheaper to then sell it back to us. So we don't actually, and we don't grow things that we eat. We are, I think it was something like 60% is what he said of fruits, and it might have been more fruits, and 60% of vegetables come from other countries. And so, we're not able to supply our own selves with food. That's how like impotent we are. And this is why I keep encouraging people we've got to all start learning to grow food and moving to places where we can have sustainable, regenerative food, because this is not sustainable.
I agree.
Seems that as long as you're a Zionist-run government, the United States will always choose you over American citizens.
For now.
Yeah. And guys, I'm not anti-beef eating. I'm just very pro-regenerative agriculture, which, as we've talked about, we did a few shows on this. It's where your meat and your vegetables and your fruit are all sort of together. It raises, you rotate your cattle, they eat the grass. It's like an ecosystem situation. But that requires people to live in small, sustainable communities and not have everything driven by shareholders and profits. And I mean, the majority of beef in this country, the majority of ag is for companies. Purdue, like the big companies like that. And they're just as fierce as, like the fossil fuel industry and the military industrial complex. And they have taken over, and we have no choices with food.
We do not. And I try very hard every day to eat as healthy as I can. And even then, I know it's not anywhere near as good as it could be. And this is also why, if you listen to the interview that Kim Iverson did, she has been very fortunate with her channel. It has grown to the point in which she is real, sustainability in terms of her financial success. And she has a home now in Italy, in addition to a home in, I think, Idaho. But the point is,
what does that have to do with anything?
No, but what my point is that she talks about what it's like living in the States versus living in Europe, and the quality of the produce in particular, and how much different it is eating it here, even in a farming state like Idaho, versus what it's like living in Italy. It's night and day, the quality of the food. And in my opinion, and this gets back to climate change, we have changed the climate in this country with our soil. Our soil is not healthy.
No.
It can take years to repair that soil, which is covered in Roundup and God knows whatever other chemicals are out there.
It's from monocropping, and and what we've done is we've killed the soil, which is, hence, if you go back to one of our very first shows, was it Kiss the Dirt?
Something like that.
Kiss the Dirt. But it was a book, and it was amazingly good. And we had the author on, and there is a movie, and it talks about what we've done to our soil and how we could regenerate it. But it involves regenerative agriculture, not monocropping, and that's not profitable. So here we are. And I would also add that our bread and all of our packaged processed foods in this country are so disgusting. If you turn something around, it either has and this is an it either has seed oils, it's got bioengineered food product, whatever it is. Like, this is not normal.
No.
This is not normal. And when you look at products in other, like, they don't have celiacs as a problem in Europe. Like, that's not a thing anywhere but here, because we have, look at bread should only have 3 ingredients. Seriously.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Well, right. And so now I'm on this that like I can't. And I'm sick of stuff in plastic. I'm sick of food in plastic. I'm sick of food in plastic. Just stop putting food in plastic. Yeah, they're killing us. That's the whole point.